Good morning, Year 7s. Today is Sunday, the 17th of May. We are now in week 7. This is lesson 1 of 4. So we're going to move on to our new topic, solving equations, which is related to the topic we did the previous week. So it's kind of a continuation. Solving equations is a really important topic we need to learn in maths, because a lot of the mathematics from now on will be about problem solving. So we really need to make sure that we get really confident in solving equations. Okay. So as we know, an equation is a statement using algebra that contains an equal signs. So for example, b plus 2 is equal to 5 is an equation. You can use an equation using the balance method. I will show you another method later on, which is called the flow chart or the diagram, flow diagram method. But for this week, we're going to focus on the balancing method. Then the next week, we'll look at these questions again, but using an alternative method of solving equations. Okay, so if we look at example 5 here, so find x. So this is basically solve for x if x plus 5 is equal to 7. So we're trying to work out what number plus 5 is equal to is the same as 7. Now, if we think of this as like on a balancing scale, so on the left-hand side of the scale, we have x, an unknown number value, plus 5 of these small bricks is equal to, or weighs the same as 7 of these small bricks. So these bricks are the same in weight. On this left-hand side, we also have this unknown weight. Now, the key idea here is that we have a left and a right side of the scale. And whatever we do to one side of the scale, we need to do to the other. So we need to treat both sides the same. So for this example, if I was to subtract 5 from both sides, so 5 of these little bricks would go, and 5 of these little bricks would go. And that would, on this side, leave me with x, which is what I'm trying to figure out what it is, which I'm trying to solve. So then this would leave me that this x, unknown weight, is equal to 2. So we could say here that x is equal to 2. Now, obviously, this is a very basic example. We need to start off with this basic example because we need to focus on the method of treating both sides the same to solve the equation to work out the answer. Okay, and we know this is correct because we're substituting x is equal to 2 back into this unknown part of the equation. So we're saying 2 plus for 5 little squares here is equal to 7. Okay. If we look at a different example, so here again it says use the balance method to find y. So this time we're solving for y. If 2y, now remember 2y means 2 times y, so 2 multiply a number we don't know, plus 1 is equal to 9. So if we draw this out to help us solve it, so we've got 2 y's plus a small little brick or cube is equal in weight, is equal in value to 9 of these small ones. So again, if I now subtract 1 from both sides, so I'm left with the 2 y's on this side. If I subtract 1 from this side, I will have 8. So 2y is equal to 8, but because we want to work out what 1y is, we have to divide both sides by 2 to give me y equals 4. Okay, so if I draw this out again, this is a method I prefer to show my students when I'm showing them how to solve linear equations. So we've got the left and the right of our two equations, of our equation. So we've got 2y plus 1 is equal to 9. And remember, the important thing is we want to work out what a single 1y is. Okay? So to do that, we need to move everything from here, the 1, to this side, and that leaves us with the unknown on the other side. So if like we said, if we got 2y plus 1 is equal to 9, then let me change the color here. So then if I subtract 1 from both sides, so this now becomes 2y is equal to, so now this one is gone because we subtracted 1 from here and we subtracted 1 from this side. So 9 subtracted 1 is equal to 8. So that gives us 2y is equal to 8. Because we want a single 1y, we have to then divide both sides by 2. Now I always say divide by the coefficient. The coefficient, as some of you might know, is the number in front of the letter being multiplied. So to work out what 1 is, so think of it like the inverse. What's the opposite of timesing by 2? It's dividing by 2. So we need to divide both sides by 2. So that will give us, so these 2 cancelled, and 8 divided by 2. So y equals 4. That's y equals 4. Okay? So as I showed that in my previous thing. So like I said, set them up. So you've got your left and your right. You've got the left-hand side of the equation, which is on this side of the equal sign. Then the right-hand side is what's on the right-hand side of the equal sign. Then do it step by step. You're trying to get this unknown number by itself and then solve it. So we'll look at some questions. Let's just quickly go through the explanation. So solving the equation is finding the value that makes both sides of the equal sign same as each other. So equal to each other. You can check by substituting the value back into the equation. And this is very important. So when you solve these equations, always check your answer by substituting your solution back into the equation to see if it works. So we're saying 2y plus 9 is equal to 9. So we're saying 2 times y plus 1 is equal to 9. And we're saying y is equal to 4. So if y is equal to 4, so 2 times y, 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So are both sides equal to 9? Yes. So we can say by checking by substituting that our solution that y is equal to 4 is correct. So for today, copy and show your workings. So show your workings by using the left and right diagram, using the balance method to solve question 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. I'm not asking you to do all of them, just do these 3 sets of questions. So question 20, 22, 24, 25, 26. So let me go back. We'll look at these again. So for today, as I said, copy from exercise 8D. So we're only doing question 1, 3, and 5. So to do question 1, again, it's very short. I mean, these questions are so easy, you can just simply solve them in your head. Just okay, a number plus 6 is equal to 9. Well, obviously, you would say, well, that's 3. But as I said, it's the method I want to focus on, not the actual questions. So we're saying here, A plus 6 is equal to 9. So 9 is on the right-hand side of the equal sign, and A plus the 6 is on the left-hand side. So if I got here A plus 6 equal to 9. Now, remember, I want to solve for A. I want to work out what the letter A is worth. So how can I get A by itself? Again, thinking about inverses. So we're basically saying, well, if I move this positive 6, let me circle this positive 6 onto this side. So now imagine this is a mirror. And whenever I move one thing over to the other side of the mirror, it changes. It becomes the opposite. So if it was a positive 6, on this side, on the opposite side, it will be a negative 6. So now we're saying A, now this positive 6, going to the other side, remember? 9. Now on this side, we've got 9 minus 6. 9 minus 6 is equal to 3. So we're saying A is equal to 3. And check, substitute. So okay, we think A is 3. Let's see if it's correct. If A is 3, well, 3 plus 6 equals 9. and this side is 9. So they're balanced, so we know that is correct. Okay, so as I said, these are very easy questions to start with. So as I do question 1, 3, and 5. Again, show your workings, draw your diagram, show your workings. You need to show like how you're treating both sides the same by subtracting 6 from both sides. Okay. Then the next set of questions, you've got 7, 9, and 11. Again, show your workings, show how you're manipulating your equation by moving the unknowns, the values to one side to solve it. And then question 20, 22, 24, 25, 26. Now these are slightly more challenging questions, but some of you need these challenging questions to really expand your understanding. Again, with these ones, you've got the negative sign. So again, think of what is the inverse of negative is positive. So think, okay, I've got 10 minus 40 is equal to minus 2, and I want this negative 40 for t by itself, so I got to move the 10 over to the other side, and so forth. Okay. So that's it for today. Then in lesson 2 tomorrow, we're going to do some more solving equations. So good luck with the questions from today. Any problems, message me. Otherwise, enjoy your day, and hopefully everything's okay. And I'll speak to you guys tomorrow. Thank you.